Welcome, everybody, to Cup with Gup on this Wednesday, December 8th, 2021. Missed yesterday. Was getting caught up with the family. Had a bunch of things going. My little man is turning 8 on Monday, but the party is Saturday. So I'll kind of do a combo pod today. We'll talk a little betting recap, power rankings, waiver wire, and really kind of hitting on things to look out for if you're hitting towards playoff time. Then we'll get out of here. Tons coming tomorrow. We got the hot route with Ryan. We'll do the full breakdown for Sunday. Should be an awesome slate. I will do a Cup with Gup tomorrow, going over the Thursday night game. Vikings versus, I think it's the Packers. I think that sounds right. I got it right here. Hold on. Steelers at Vikings. Just saw Thielen was ruled out. Cook is questionable, so there'll be plenty to break down there tomorrow, and then I'll have coin flip out either late Thursday or early Friday. Right now, join us as usual with the code CUP. You get 20% off any package, includes a 7-day risk-free trial. We got a monster UFC card on Saturday, NBA daily. We got the Army-Navy game, little showdown action Saturday, and then it'll be full on to bowl season. I know Bobby Burger will have us covered there. We crushed last bowl season, so looking forward to that. Listener League is up. The link is in the description. Click that. Get reserved now. Rate and review us on iTunes. Anytime we do our big giveaways, especially as we approach, I'll do some for Christmas. And then I'll do some also as we start our march to Daytona and the Masters when we turn the calendar over in January. And people that leave us the rate and reviews always take precedence there. So go ahead and do that real quick if you haven't. It does go a long way. I appreciate it. Also, if you're audio only, head over to our YouTube channel, click the like button, subscribe to us. Even if you don't really do the video thing, I get it. Some don't. Some are commuting all the time, so they don't watch. That's fine, but subscribing to us certainly helps, even if you don't listen. Tell me who you think will be in the Super Bowl right now. I'd asked this several weeks ago, so I'm interested to see how everybody's changed as the power rankings have shifted. We're getting into that cold weather. Big boy football type stuff. Let me know who you think would be in the Super Bowl right now as we sit here on December 8th. Underdog, link is in the description. The playoff best balls are back. I know this is the last week for the main season best balls before they go into the playoffs, but if you missed out on that or don't have any alive potentially, or maybe you have some alive and you want some more action, go over to Underdog, click the link in the description, use the code GUP, get a free dollar for dollar match up to $100, and then go check out the best balls for the playoffs that are about half full or so. So you may want to jump on that. They also have pick'em parlays, pay up to 20x, mix and match sports. I really like that about them. November betting recap for me, November plus last week. Last week I went 3-4 on the NFL. Small loss, hit the old 2-star Dallas Cowboys Thursday night, but a little bit of a loss. College football, 5-3, made up for the loss in NFL, but a break even between those two because I did lose the 2-star on Western Kentucky. So not a bad week overall, 8-7 total. We cashed the Clemson under an 11.5 wins very easily. That was a 3-star play in the futures. We lost the OU prop to win the national title. That was a 2-star. And then we lost Ritter and Corral, very small plays to win the Heisman. For November in total, all bets had an awesome month on the outrights and first round leaders. Finished the month up 47.21 stars. So great month. Let's roll that into December here and start off with a bang this week. Power rankings for me this week. I'm going to keep the Packers up there at number 1. I think they're playing great football. I think they'll only continue to improve. I love Aaron Rodgers in this situation. It's going to be key, I think, as we get closer to the playoffs. I think home field is going to mean a lot in both the AFC and NFC, whether it's, going through Green Bay, going through Arizona, going through Dallas, going through Tampa Bay. Winning your division is going to be important first and foremost, but there's only one bye week this year. So getting that number 1 seed lets you rest up. and host throughout. So I think that's going to be huge on how it all shakes out. I do have Arizona number 2. I mean, what can you say? I mean, they just keep winning. They're 10-2, best record in the NFL. They've won with Murray, without Murray. He looked good last week. So very close to putting them number 1. But just because I hadn't been there yet, I'm still going to keep Green Bay up there. Tampa right there behind them. I got them 3. Brady's starting to come in. This is when he turns it on normally. It looked okay last week. I mean, nothing spectacular, but they got the win, they got the cover. Dallas right behind them. I actually have Dallas, New England, and Kansas City all rated next best, tied. But I have Dallas 4, New England 5, and Kansas City 6. Very close between those 3. I think Dallas is getting healthier and healthier, especially on defense. If they can get Cooper back, I think they'll finish the year strong. New England, I mean, I was big on them against Buffalo. And I think they'll do well even when they play Buffalo again, mainly because they're going to be at home in Foxborough. Interested to see what that line is. But, they're still young, but, man, it's hard to go against Belichick right now. And then the Chiefs are coming along, a little bit of a different Chiefs, but still getting it done, just much more on the defensive side right now. Next, I got Baltimore, a little down slight there to 7. Colts I have up to 8. I love the Colts. I've talked about that a lot. I think that is a team that a lot of people don't want to see them sneak into the playoffs. I think they're a game out of Tennessee now. Tennessee needs to get Henry back sooner than later. Buffalo 9. I mean, I wasn't big on them in the preseason. I talked about this with Brian last week. About 4 games in, I looked, I had egg on my face between the Chargers and Bills. I'm not down on the Bills. I just don't know if they have a good enough, complete enough team when it gets to the playoffs to get it all done. I just don't. And plus, they lose probably their best cornerback. It's a little bit of a downgrade to me for them. Still in the top 10. We'll see how they play out. Rams, they won. They beat who they were supposed to beat. Nothing big there, but I still got them in the top 10. Right behind them, I have the Chargers and Bengals. Obviously, the Chargers just beat the Bengals on the road. But I have them both still, fairly close teams in the AFC. I think each and every week from here on out will be, very important to a lot of these teams. And you see teams that, if they're not built for this type of year, it gets colder, you're beat up, you get an 18-week schedule, so on and so forth. Some of that stuff comes to show. Waiver wire, I know this is Wednesday, but some people still looking at it. I think the biggest thing there is this is a good time, at least for me. I know people are a lot sharper now, but one of the advantages I've always had in some of my leagues is I don't think enough people, unless you're in a keeper league and you can't afford, to just dump people per se, like you still want to have a good bench because someone could get hurt. But at this point, you're 3 or 4 games left in the, run. Some playoff weeks start this week. I think that's a mistake if they did that and I've seen it. People didn't realize. Luckily, I realized it in our league. Obviously the extra week, but I don't think which isn't a big deal whether you end on 16 or 17, with 18 being the week that people could potentially sit out. But I don't think enough people realize that there were still bye weeks this week. So we moved our playoffs back a week, 15, 16, 17. So a lot of guys going in the playoffs, and one of the biggest ones I've seen people talk about is Jonathan Taylor. I mean, their workhorse. They made the first round of the playoffs this week, and now they don't have them. But that's one thing. You got to take care of that. But I think one thing to look at, especially if you've been streaming a quarterback or a defense or, go and look at those matchups in week 15, 16, 17. And if you got like 6 wide receivers or something, well, you probably know who your starter is going to be for the most part. You could drop 1 or 2, or if you're loaded at running back or whatever, and go pick up an extra defense. Pick up a kicker that maybe have a lot more dome or indoor games during that stretch. A tight end. A lot of people, if you don't have one of the stud tight ends, maybe you go look at good matchups there. And then quarterback. Like if you've been streaming a quarterback, I mean, I'd be looking at, not only this week, hopefully this is your last week of the regular season, but those 3 weeks, what are the best matchups? And maybe you roster 2, even 3 quarterbacks, planning it out, because a lot of people just don't do that enough. And I think you can get some advantages with the matchups heading into the playoffs. This week, I don't mind Taysom against the Jets as a streaming quarterback, just because of that rushing upside so strong, and the Jets D is pretty weak, so that's not a bad one. If Debo's back, I don't mind Jimmy G versus the Bengals. I think you could stream him this week. Hasty could be a good pickup this week. It looks like he may be the starting running back the way the injuries are shaking out. Julio Jones, potentially close to coming back. A lot of people may have dropped him by now. You may want to go pick him up. Gage is kind of coming alive for Atlanta, so I think you could go that route if you need a wide receiver. Thielen's out, like I just mentioned, this week at least. So I think if you need a one-off wide receiver, Osborne's a good one to go pick up. MVS for the Packers, seen a lot more targets the last couple games. He's out there in a ton of leagues. St. Brown had a big game for the Lions. He's probably a hot commodity, but if he snuck through, they have a decent enough schedule. You could pick him up. And Keenan Allen, I'd watch that. If he's out, maybe this week you go get Guyton. I'd probably prefer the other three, Osborne, MVS, and St. Brown over him, but he's one to keep an eye on as well. Like I mentioned, tomorrow's a big deep dive day. We'll have at least 2 or 3 pods out. No PGA this week. We get a little break here. Looks like Tiger's going to play in the PNC father-son deal next week. That's always exciting. Like I said, anytime he's in the game, it helps that. I will be working on some preseason, or I guess it's mid-season, but big season, as we get to January and all that, preview shows, maybe bring on a guest or two, talk about some stuff there as we head into January in 2022 golf year. And then obviously our March to the Masters is always our biggest time of the year. But we got tons of football coming up. College football, it's great to come right now. Take advantage of that free trial. We get the bowl games rolling out next week. NBA is going out daily right now. NFL, I still have it covered Thursday night, Sunday night, all the main slate, Monday night as well. So plenty to do right now. Good time this year, good time of the year. Really love, the holidays in general, Thanksgiving, Christmas, all that kind of stuff. We're very blessed here, and we appreciate all you guys supporting us through 2021. Share the word, spread it around. Let's make 2022 a big year for Gup's Corner as well. I'll be back tomorrow morning, kicking it off with Ryan on the hot route, and then the Cup with Gup, where I break down the Steelers and Vikings game as well. Appreciate you guys. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.